Hi, welcome to another video. Have no fear, I am going outside. We'll go and do some outdoor photography. Now, I was looking on my bookshelf just a while ago, and I was looking at the box that my camera came in. And, you know, this was the box that I have still got. I don't know why I still keep it. Maybe I'm thinking that if I sell the entry-level DSLR, I'll have a box to put it in, ship it off. I don't normally keep the boxes. Anyway, it got me to thinking, how about going back to basics? I've been at this amateur photography lark practically all my life. I was doing it as a teenager. But it was only since the pandemic that I got to grips with the DSLR, all the settings, all the stuff, thinking about composition, ISO triangle, all of the things that I never knew up until the pandemic. But when I got the camera and I bought it off eBay, all it came with was the bog standard lens. See, the cat's going crazy at the back there. I didn't have any zoom lenses. I've never bought a wide angle lens. Can't see the point personally for my style of photography. But it got me thinking, imagine if I knew then what I know now, right? It's all up here now. I know all about the mode dial, and I know all about the settings, that, you know, shutter speed and stuff. So what I thought I would do is take the camera out and basically go back to basics. And what that means is I'm even going to take off my polarizer filter, which, you know, the camera didn't come with the polarizer filter. When I received it, it was the body and the kit lens. This isn't a kit lens challenge. Hey, stop it. Excuse me while I put the cat down. Not literally put her down. Do you want to go out? Go on then. Out you go. She's desperate to go out, so why not put her out, right? Where was I? I'm completely distracted now. I'm going to go out and go back to basics. But what that means is, now that I have the knowledge how to work it, would my images then, how would they compare to how my images will compare now with the knowledge that I have? You know, working with aperture, working with shutter priority, working in manual mode. So I've got the mode dial. And of course, on the mode dial, I've got presets. I'm not going to look at the presets for this. Is it a challenge? It's not a challenge, really. But I'm going to be using auto. So what I'm going to do is take a number of pictures. I'm not going to say one for each of the settings. Just, you know, if I'm in a location, I'll choose. But I'll definitely be shooting one in auto. I'm going to shoot one in priority mode. One or two in priority mode, where I just adjust the exposure compensation. I will work with shutter priority, aperture priority, and then manual priority. So definitely an exercise in going out with the camera, because it's actually a sunny day. It's lovely. It's been a while. So yeah, let's head out and, as they say in the trade, take some pictures. We're going back to basics. So I think this one will be quite strange. I've got the DSLR with the entry-level lens. It's an entry-level DSLR. And I'm back in Sandwich. The sun is, look at this. It's glorious. And I think I can get quite a few walk-around shots. That should be the objective, I think. Look at that church all bathed. That might be my first shot. What do you reckon? Maybe I should give you a live view. I think I can do that, so that you can see through the camera what I'm hoping to do. I was going to go down there, but I think I'll just walk around. So I'll display each picture as I take it, put in what mode I used, and I'm just going to switch around. So if I decide I'm going to do in fully auto, so be it. But if I look at a scene and think, oh, that's going to be perfect for auto aperture mode, that kind of stuff, then I'll take that shot. Reject digital. Sorry mate, we live in a digital age now. You don't adopt it, you get left behind, right? Isn't that shot? That's a perfect shot. It's a shame about the car. But if I can take an angle just past the car, it's nice having this sunset. I'm going to go into aperture mode and I'm going to set it f13. So I got some scope with the... Oh, lovely. I wonder what else I'll find around Sandwich. This is rather funky. So what I'm doing is contemplating what it would have been like when I first got this camera. I remember getting it out of the box and I was all excited, and probably I would have started shooting in auto everything. Auto, what's the auto mode? I was going to say auto exposure, but it's not auto exposure, is it? Simply because I had no idea what the camera could do for me. I didn't know about apertures and, you know, depth of field, shutter priority, speeds. And it was only after I learnt by watching videos on YouTube that I realised the scope that the camera could give me. Let's go down here. So if there's anything you're going to take away from this video, I would suggest two things. One, if you get a manual with your camera, then read the friendly manual, RTFM, as we used to say in the IT trade. Substitute friendly with another word that starts with an F. You'd go to some bod, how do you do this? And they go, RTFM, because some people in IT are not friendly. So one takeaway is read the friendly manual. The other thing is, all DSLRs come with a menu option, and it might be worth just spending a whole evening, instead of watching telly or playing on your phone, go through all the menu options and actually try each setting. Try and get an understanding of what the camera can do for you. And I remember when I was doing my IT development, the project manager came up to me and said, do you know this in Visual Basic? Do you know this in Excel? Do you know this in SQL Server? And he basically set me on a task. Every shortcut menu that was available in all the software suites, I had to kind of work through and see what they were doing. And so that's what I'm thinking here, is that if you've got the menu, if you've got a menu, I have to stop talking because of the people, in your camera, then go through each of the menu options and see what it can offer you. I'm walking into the sun and it's blinding me. And we're getting no photography done, so yeah, two takeaways. Read the manual if you've got one, and go through the menu options and learn what your camera can do for you. Okay, let's do some photography now. So I've got this scene, which is the little coffee shop with the road coming round, the sun, a road going up, just kind of a street scene. That's what I'm going for here. That wasn't bad, that was shutter priority. Let's take a walk into the town centre. Wow, that looks nice. An old shop front, the Market Inn. Look at that, that's some kind of old storage facility, and I love these old gates that go through. Can that make a shot? The perspective would be all wrong because I was shooting up, but it does look nice. The Market Inn. Can I do anything with this? Just a straight on. I'm going to go into priority mode, which puts auto ISO on, but you can see that I can drop the exposure compensation to facilitate the light. So I'll make a square crop of this. but I'm including the door and the window on the left and the right, just so that I've got something to work with. Oh, this is nice. We've got sunlight basking down on the buildings. Look at that high street with the old roofs. I think that'll make a nice shot. Making it sound like.
I'm going to do it a week before we go back.
I'm wondering where the best angle for that. What I'm seeing is the old buildings with the old roofs and the sunlight on them. I particularly like the street light, actually, with the reflection. Yes, I had the Archers on telly, on the radio as I was driving down. Let's go into manual. Let's do a manual shot. Let's not just take a random shot, of course.
What's this shot from?
F13, 1/60th of a second. I like the street light with the reflection, that's what I'm going for. So that was me fully in control. F13 at 1/60th of a second. So I'm going to walk down here, 7 Post Alley. I don't want to do too many back alley shots and things like that. I want to get something that I can take a shot of that exercises all the different modes on the camera. It's funny, when I first got the camera, I probably wouldn't have been thinking about composition, and I wouldn't have been thinking about all the different types of shots I could take. I think the one thing that I probably would have focused on primarily would have been landscapes. Yeah, oh, look at that vista. I can see fields and trees, and all shot in auto, right? So anyway, we come out onto the high street, which gets us down by the harbour, so I'm going to head down there, if only so that I can see if I can get a shot, perhaps with some water, see what I can do. I was looking at the water, thinking, what can I take a picture of? The sun is on the reeds down here, so we're going to walk down here a little bit, and potentially, I can't do any zooming in. I'm using my back to basics lens, which of course is the 18-55, the kit lens. Oops. I wonder if I go on this little floaty thing. That could work. Actually, what I'm going to do is just wrap my DJI around this post using the Gorilla tripod. That puts it in a good place so that it doesn't fall off. Isn't it funny? People look at you as if you're weird. Oh, I've got a lovely kind of panoramic vista here. Just going to see what I can do at 50, 55. So I can do a 2-shot pano at 55mm. We've got movement. We've got ripples of water. So I'm thinking shutter priority, fast speed. I suppose I could go I can't go slow speed because I was thinking, do I make the grass, do I make the water all smooth? But when I did basics, when I bought this, I didn't even have a tripod. Tripods were unknown to me at that stage of my photography amateur career. Anyway, I'm waffling. Shutter priority, drop it down to 100 ISO. So what I'm thinking is, at 18mm, I get that, which isn't a bad shot. I might well just take that. But at 50, I can do a 2-shot pano. I can take that shot, and then I can take that shot. So at 18mm, I could zoom in. I could take the shot and then crop in post-production, right? We can do all sorts. I don't have my polarizer, so I can't bring out the majestic hues of the blues. F5.6, I'm going to push it to F11 just to see. F11 a 40th of a second, because I want the depth of field, right? If I do F5.6, all the foreground is blurred. Nice shot. Everything in at 18mm. That's that shot. That's without even a polarizer. I mean, if I present it as, I want to say raw, I shoot JPEGs, so there's processing going on inside the camera. But here's the shot without any processing, and here's the shot with any enhancements. Right, back to 2-shot panel. I'm going to push it in because I'm interested in the reads. So where can I start there? It might be a 3-shot panel, so that I get. I did 4 shots there. I love in the colours.
Oh, okay. Actually going, oh, I've got this.
That's what I was stood on, in case you're wondering. This is the ramp where the military boat usually sits. Back to basics. I like this. I've never come this far in assemblage before. Gone through the park, and I'll probably go through the park in a minute. But we got the reflection of the tree in the water. It's dipping in the tree. I'm thinking, can I take something with this? I've got nowhere I can put my little camera here. Maybe I can put it here. Someone's scarf on the. It's kind of dark. I'm thinking manual priority. Let's see what it's offering me. I've not even composed the shot yet. Look at the colours and the reflections. I could almost do an upside down shot, couldn't I? But I like to include a little bit of the tree. It's kind of nice. Should I include the sign? I think it has a human element to it. That's nice. That's my composition. That's what I'm going for. We've got some fantastic colours. I'm just checking. I haven't got the polarizer on, and I haven't. So I like the tree. I like the shadows of the tree. And I like the sign. The sign does it for me. Right, so let's have a look here. F60 at 5.6. Let's increase that manual priority, just checking. F8. It wants 40th of a second. I can do that. And that's at ISO 100. Yes, it is. Back to basics. I wouldn't say I'm smug or feeling smug. But maybe I am. You know? My takeaway from this is I've put so much effort into learning how to take photographs, and yes, it's all subjective. People still look at my images and question my motives for choosing a subject. Like that would be a nice subject, but I've already taken a picture of the tree. So what I'm going to do is walk up this country. It's not country path, it's a public footpath. Then we'll get to the other side of the long walk, where we walk past all the trees and things. See if I can take a few more shots. Is that an interesting shot? The footpath with the light shining on the lamp post, and then the fence going down. I'm going to take a shot of that. So remembering that I'm still in ISO 100 and we're in manual, so I think what I'll do is put in aperture. I'm thinking f11 so that I get the footpath. I'll probably go low once this chap has decided what to do with this. Oh, he's cleaning up the dog poo. I'm not taking a picture of that, that's for sure. I don't know if I actually need to do this on landscape or portrait. Afternoon.
We'll be out of your way in a second.
That's all right. I chose not to take a picture of you with your dog.
Not even of the dog.
Well, the dog would have been nice, but you were in the middle of doing some processing, weren't you? He's right. It does look professional. That's what I'm going for. People shot. Street photography. Yeah, it must have been around the lockdown time where we could only go out for an hour for a walk. Do you remember those times? Good times. When we didn't have to mingle with people and talk to anybody. Definitely good times. But I remember being so excited. I had my new, what I considered to be professional camera. It was only later I realised entry level. But with 24 megapixels, and it does basically everything that the big cameras do, you might not want to have a career in photography if you're only using an entry level. But some of my shots have surprised me no end. I've been like, you took that picture? And in fact, other people have said as much. So what I'm wondering is, whatever camera you have, it really is just worth getting out, taking snaps, isn't it? And again, I go back to the whole, it's subjective. I'll take a picture of what pleases me, you know. I saw Thomas Heaton's video yesterday, and he's talking about having less sponsorship on his channel, and in fact he wants to support himself. So he started selling his prints, exclusive prints, which you can check out on his website. I haven't looked, so I'm not sure. But I can imagine you're talking 150, 200 for a print. He's a professional photographer. This is interesting, isn't it? What a strange scene. The sun coming in off the pavement. I've got some shadows and I've got a level crossing. I'm going to prop you here while I take this shot. Yeah, so it is all subjective. Thomas Heaton will take a picture of, you know, his landscapes and things like that, and they would be brilliant. This track is on. I just like the sun coming in on the footpath leading to the zebra crossing. It's an abstract, isn't it? Let's go to shutter priority. I need at least a 50th of a second. I'm going to have to bump the ISO up in order to bring the metering down, so it wants ISO 400, 50th of a second at f6.3, just to get the abstract shadows. Yes, I like that. That's what it's called, the rope walk, the old town wall. I would imagine this has been rebuilt since the turn of the century, turn of the millennium. When was Richard I the king? 1100s? And that's when he landed, when he came back to Sandwich after being released from captivity. So Sandwich, yeah, I can't imagine that's an 1100-year-old wall. What a lovely scene. We've got the sun streaming in, coming down across the river. It's giving us blue washes in the water from the sky. If I can get a good shot of that, I will. But what I'm thinking here is the footpath with the trees and the people. Can't do anything about that, but that's not a bad shot, actually. So I'm going to include the people, because why not, right? It would be a better shot without the people. But I chose my time unwisely, because that's what I always do. Show you what I'm looking at. Something like that, I think, with the people. That's a lovely scene. Moorhen. See, I don't know, should I compose it to include this tree or ignore this tree and just start with the left tree? I like the shadows, I like the bank coming up. There's probably another shot of this further down, but and we got the river with the ducks coming along. So we can come out. That's where a kit lens kind of works, doesn't it? Take it like that, I think. Dachshund versus Rottweiler. What do you reckon? Is it a Rottweiler? Yep. Oh, shush, dog. Yappy type dogs. Now, when I started shooting with this, I had the option, and I still have the option, of shooting in RAW only, or RAW with fine, which is high JPEG or just JPEG. Now, I invariably only shoot with fine JPEG. I did try the RAW, but I didn't have Lightroom. I don't use Lightroom, I use Affinity Photo by Serif, and it is a fantastic bit of kit. I've used it for 4 years. I paid a license fee, something like $50 or $60, and it's mine for life. No monthly subscription, none of that nonsense. I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to any subscriptions if I can help it, because part of that for me is I'll never learn to fly the whole thing, but if I can get what I can out of Affinity, then I will. So going back to the RAW, I would process originally. I did some shooting in RAW, but I found the tweaks and the modifications I make to a photograph I can quite adequately do using just a JPEG. So that's how I do it. That's how I roll. I don't shoot in RAW at all. And I suppose, you know, I've followed YouTube people, Mads Peter Iversen, First Man Photography, Thomas Eaton, as I mentioned, and they all shoot in RAW, and then they go to their Lightroom and they do all their bits and bobs with it. And I look at the pictures myself and I kind of think, yeah, and cynical or what, right? Oh, I see a glove, as my little boy used to call it. I'm going to take a picture of a glove. Just a random glove. It's called urban photography, if you didn't know. I am going to give you the live view because you can't see what I'm looking at otherwise. Take it at an angle like that. The sun is shining. Give myself some of the shadow. That's a nice shot. So we will go into priority mode. The only thing I have to adjust is the exposure compensation, and that's priority mode. And I wouldn't have even known that in the beginning, in terms of going out first time with the camera and getting all excited. It's only years and years of practice, right? And I can immediately control my camera as I need to. Sometimes I'm very much an opportunist photographer. I do like walking around and then, oh, look at that, that's a good shot, that's a good shot. When I think of people who are specifically going for a landscape shot, and they'll walk for hours to get 1 or 2 shots, and that's it. And they probably spend an hour just composing the shot. And I think I don't have time for that. Where am I going? I'm going down the butts, I think, down here. So yeah, that's I think that's it. Taken quite a few nice shots. I've gone back to basics. I've come out with the camera based on how I would have done it 5 years ago. I've had this 5 years, practically 5 years. And have my pictures changed? Well, I think maybe my photographer eye has changed, because I see things now. I'm constantly walking around seeing a composition, and because I now know how to control the camera and do things with it, then in 5 years I wouldn't have been doing what I've been doing today. Changing from priority, changing to shutter, changing to aperture, working in manual, and just immediately assessing what is wrong with the image. Why is it too dark? Oh, you've got to increase the ISO. That'll work. You know, just stuff like that. So yeah, the 2 takeaways for you: go and read the manual. If you haven't got one, download one for you, the camera that you use. I'm still on my entry-level Nikon D3200. Served me well and continues to. I mentioned at the beginning about still having the box. I kind of think the only reason I will replace this is the day I drop it and it no longer works. I'd love a Nikon Z camera in those ranges. I can't justify the cost for me as an amateur, you know, when I think that this camera still gives me great shots. And in fact, using just this 18 to 55 kit lens today, I think I've proved a point. Oh, sorry. Talking to myself, you see. Duck's laughing. seagulls, look at them. Oh, I'm looking at this, I said that's it, but the willows lost all their leaves for winter. Look at it, it's like a spider web. I've got to see if I can take a shot of that. What I'm looking at is the willow. I can't see through there. You can see the branches of the willows looking like a spider web. I'm going to go for a shot. It's not very nice, there's clutter in the background, so maybe that's the better shot. I got lens flare. Let's go for that. That's a good shot. I'm taking the shot without even looking through the viewfinder. That's how confident I am that it would be a good shot. And then I was just looking at what my DJI is doing. Can you see it? Just a shot up with the sun at this tree. Hello, are you there? It will lock onto me, I promise. Need to go to 18. And the guy says, looks very professional. I can assure you, I'm not treating it like a professional. Where are you? Thank you, stay there. One-handed photography. What can I shoot? I like that. I'm too close. You know, I said I didn't want a wide-angle lens. Maybe this is where one comes in handy. Changing the metering through the lens. f6.3 1/60th of a second. I'm astonished at the colours. Yeah, so what I was saying, the takeaway is read the friendly manual. I was going to say the F word then. The F-bomb. Read the effing manual, because that's what you're always supposed to do. And men don't do manuals, do they? The other thing is investigate the menu option. See what it does, see what it can do for you. Right, I'm going to leave you with the gallery of anything I take on the way back to the car, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.